Welcome to day 246, Becoming Peace, Meditation, and Inspiration. The name of today's session is What is Loneliness? Have you ever felt lonely? There's much more to it than just being physically alone. Today, we're uncovering a centering thought, a place to shine some light on the shadows of your mind and heart that are sometimes difficult to face. Have you ever felt alone in a room of people? If the answer is yes, today might be a good experience for you. So sit back and rest your eyes. Take several deep breaths in and begin to let go of all the tension and heaviness that you carry with you physically and emotionally all day long. Take a few more deep breaths. And just relax. Today's centering thought comes from Haruki Murakami. Loneliness is not just the absence of people. It is the absence of purpose and the absence of meaning. When you find yourself in a world where everything seems alien and distant, where every connection is superficial, and every attempt to understanding is met with indifference, you realize that true loneliness is not just being alone, but feeling alone in the world that no longer makes sense. I'm going to hold space for you today to consider what your loneliness is. Where and when do you feel lonely? Also, who do you notice around you that might be feeling lonely? I'm going to mind the time until you hear a soft bell. let's come back now. Take a few deep breaths and reorient yourself into the room where you presently are physically. Take another deep breath in and out through the mouth. Good. I hope this was helpful today to shine a light where you may not want to visit very often. It might be a bit painful going through the recesses of your mind and understanding where your world no longer makes sense. That is loneliness. Sometimes it's good to be alone with your thoughts and have some space and not really have to entertain anyone or have conversation, but just resting quietly and peacefully. I hope you have felt today that the difference between you being lonely and you having alone time is quite different. One is where you're choosing to be in quiet reverie and slowing down. The other is a bit painful, where you realize that the world no longer makes sense. And sometimes it's quite ironic how we can actually be in a room filled with people we love, joyous occasions, happiness, birthday celebrations, and yet there's a feeling of loneliness in your heart. It's always a good idea to just surrender to that and process it, maybe with a journal writing or meditation, and keep asking a repeated question. Where am I feeling that the world no longer makes sense? Thank you for joining me today, and I really hope that you choose to share this session with someone you love and care about. Again, I will be back tomorrow, and I know that peace comes when I can make sense of the world around me. Thank you for joining me. I'll be back tomorrow, and I hope you will too. Bye for now. Hello, and welcome to day 247, Becoming Peace Meditation and Inspiration. The name of today's session is Stop the Stress. There are days we just don't seem to be able to shake off the stress. The stresses of life, the stress caused by our own choices, and the stress that is no fault of anyone. Stress is one of the biggest contributors to high blood pressure, heart disease, and becoming non-functional in our day-to-day activities. How would you like to learn a tool you can use to stop STOP, the stress? Well, let's begin. Let's begin by choosing to set down the anxious thoughts, the heavy backpack we carry every day, and the things we absolutely have no control over. Let's take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Sitting in a comfortable position, feet on the floor, back supported and head free, with your hands in your lap. Let's move into our meditation. So, as I mentioned, here's a meditation you can do whenever you're feeling stressed. So, the moment you notice you are feeling stress, you immediately stop. Stop what you're doing. Take 15 seconds for yourself and take in 3 very deep breaths. So let's do that right now together. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Breathe in. Breathe out. Very good. Now, with your eyes closed, allow your lips to create a smile. Smile and grin from ear to ear. Bring that sensation to your heart, as if your heart is smiling. Your heart is filling with light pink, bright light as you allow your heart to smile. Now bring this session to your belly, as though your belly is smiling. Big hugs, smiling, golden light filling your belly, smiling. Next, bring this sensation to your toes, each one of your toes, from the inside to the outside, big toe to the smallest toe. Each toe is smiling. Smiling, grounded, feeling supported. Happy feet, smiling. Now, just observe your body and notice how your body is feeling. Bring your awareness to your heart. Breathe in and notice love, compassion, and awareness are present in your heart. Breathe in again. Love and compassion. And as you breathe out, that love and compassion is expanding to the world. Keep breathing in love and compassion, and breathing out expansion to the world. Good. Keep breathing in and out. You just experienced a process Deepak Chopra calls the STOP formula. The STOP formula. Stop. S is for stop. When you're feeling stressed, immediately stop. T is for taking a breathing break and smiling. O is for observing the sensations in your body. And P is for proceeding with love, compassion, and awareness. You literally can do this anytime, anywhere. When you feel stress, even when you're on the run or extremely busy, implement STOP. S-T-O-P. Stop. Take a breathing breath and smile. O, observe the sensations in your body. And P, proceeding with love, compassion, and awareness through your breath. I'm going to hold space for you to practice this for just a few moments. Implement the STOP method by Deepak Chopra. It's one of my favorite tools. I'm going to mind the time and give you just a few moments until you hear a soft bell. Let's come back. Take a deep breath in and out. Shake out your hands, fingers, toes, move your legs. Coming back to this present moment with me. Enjoying the peaceful, restful feeling in your heart and your body. Bring a smile to your body, your heart, your belly, and your toes. Knowing you've just learned a tool you can implement anytime. I loved holding space for you today. This is one of my dearest, most revered tools of meditation, the stop method. I hope you've enjoyed learning about it. And please share this with someone that you dearly love. Thank you for joining me today. And I am inviting you to take in more light today than you did yesterday. I'll be back tomorrow. I hope I see you. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to day 248, Becoming Peace, Meditation and Inspiration. The name of today's session is Left Behind. Have you ever felt a bit melancholy for something you don't cognitively remember? Your heart knows though. That's why you long for the longing. Long for that place and those people you can't readily identify with human memory. Your soul remembers, and this is the cause of the melancholy. Today, we're holding space for those déjà vu moments, those inklings you get when you see a complete stranger and yet feel you know them like the back of your hand. So, let's get started. Go ahead and relax and find a comfortable seat, making sure your back is supported and your feet are resting comfortably on the floor. Go ahead and release any body tension you are aware of. Make yourself comfortable and calm. Go ahead and take 3 deep breaths in and out as we begin, and release any negative or anxious thoughts. You are safe right here. The centering thoughts for today's session come from Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, Season 2, Episode 1. The stranger giant is speaking to a small Harfoot about feeling homesick because he really can't remember at this point in the movie where he came from. The two embark on a very long journey to somewhere, but they're not sure where. A campfire conversation ensues, and here's part of the dialogue. This hard is different. It's strange how that which is left behind can be the heaviest burden to carry. I miss my home, but I don't even remember it. Sometimes I perceive a glimmer of it nonetheless. A longing for a feeling I can't remember or even name, but I know it's real, just beyond the sunset. These phrases jumped out at me as I watched the movie. I had to keep rewinding and rewinding to listen over and over again. I'm an avid Lord of the Rings fan and have enjoyed making inferences and parallel comparisons to J.R. Tolkien's characters and storylines. They really resonate with me. Ever since I can remember, there's been a longing in my heart for a far-off, distant place, a place that is my home, and yet the remembrance of all the goodness there is just beyond my grasp. I know the people there I had deep connections with, but they're faceless people. But the heart connection is still there. How about you? Can you relate to this? It seems like the fabric of our souls can remember, but a veil of forgetfulness stops our mind from connecting to those sacred memories. And then there's those close friends you meet that you just click with. There's a connection far beyond what could be built here in mortality. They seem as if they're a part of your soul. Maybe because they are. Just like the Harfoot said, this hard is different, isn't it? This hard is something you cannot define in human words. And truly it is strange how that which is left behind can be the heaviest burden to carry. We hold on to yesterdays and past memories and experiences. And sometimes they do become the heaviest burdens we carry, even the good ones, because there's a longing. I think I am a believer in the veil of forgetfulness from one realm to another, and I believe it to be merciful by our Creator. Otherwise, we'd just sit around and pine for what we no longer have readily access to. The phrase, "I miss my home, but I don't even remember it." Sometimes I perceive a glimmer of it nonetheless, is a somber reminder that we did indeed have a life before we came here. We had rich relationships and unbelievable experiences learning and cultivating our talents for eons of time. We're only here on earth for a few short years in comparison, but we did leave behind so many loving relationships and so much history. And we will return to it again once we leave mortality. A longing for a feeling I can't remember or even name. But I know it's real, just beyond the sunset. Of course it's real, because our soul and spirit tells us so. And nothing could be more true. Today I'm going to hold space for you to just be. Sit with your heart and soul and the shroud of beautifulness within yourself. Even though you cannot define it in specific thoughts, the magic is there and your eternal existence. It's there and it's true and it's you. I love to believe that those that we carried deep connecting relationships with before we came here are our guardian angels here, the people who watch over us and who know us and can see us and protect us and help us along the way. I'm going to mind the time for you to process and just sit and be until you hear that soft bell. Let's come back. Come back to this present moment and embrace and hold dear the peace and calm that's inside of you right now. Take in a deep breath and release it out through your mouth. Wiggle out your body and prepare for being in peace today, all day. Peace comes when I acknowledge I came from somewhere and I'm going back there someday. A longing for a feeling I can't remember or even name. But I know it's real, just beyond the sunset. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this has been inspiring for you and giving you time to just rest and revel in the quiet. Please consider sharing this with someone that you love. And don't forget to take in more light today than you did yesterday. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to day 249, Becoming Peace, Meditation and Inspiration. The name of today's session is They Were Moved Out of Your Way. Visiting those parts of ourselves which become resistant to cleansing out toxic people and toxic relationships. Let's settle in for a bit of housekeeping today. Go ahead and relax and find a comfortable seat, making sure your back is supported and your feet comfortably on the floor. Go ahead and release any body tension you're aware of. Make sure you're comfortable and calm. Take 3 deep breaths in as we begin and release any negative or anxious thoughts. You are safe right here. I think this is an interesting spin and concept. In the end, you didn't lose anyone who was going to be good for you, because they would have continued to cause you harm. You didn't lose anyone. They were moved out of your way. What are your thoughts running through your mind about this? Interesting twist that we don't lose anyone. They're simply moved out of our way. This comes from author Mark Smith. Sometimes the wrong person can lead you down the wrong path. A path that's not meant for you. A path that's only going to end up hurting you. But they keep leading you down this path because they've prioritized and placed their needs and agenda over yours. Except you can't see it at this time. Because you're in love, you're attached, or you're addicted. But space, distance, and time allows you to see things differently, more clearly, and for what they really, truly are. It might feel like your world has suddenly ended, but things happen for a reason. And even though you can't see it at the time, that usually ends up being to protect you. From divine intervention, loved ones over us, or other powerful forces at hand protect us. Maybe it's something different, but call it what you will. In time, you look back and realize that you weren't misplaced at all. You were really rescued and saved because you didn't lose anyone. Because they continue to harm you. You didn't lose anyone. They were just simply removed out of your way. I love the paradigm shift here, the mercy and grace that this author refers to. We didn't lose anyone. They were just moved out of our way, has threads of grace and mercy running through it. I love that. So let's just take some time while you consider, what have you considered a loss that was only moved out of your way? I'm going to mind the time until you hear a soft bell. Okay, let's come back now. Back, breathing in and out. Keep releasing any tension that seems to be arising as you let go of someone walking away or being removed from your life. Because there's a lot of grace and mercy in that paradigm shift. Peace comes when I realize that I didn't lose anyone. They just moved out of my way. I hope this was helpful today to visit this space of grace and mercy in your paradigm shifting. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself today. I've enjoyed holding space for you. I hope it was helpful, and I invite you to share this with someone you love. And make sure that you're taking in lots of light today, just a tad bit more than you did yesterday. I will be back tomorrow, and I hope I see you. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to day 250, Becoming Peace Meditation and Inspiration. The name of today's session is Growing in the Dark. Today is a centering thought meditation. So let's begin. Sit back and relax in a comfortable position. Make sure your back is supported, and take in 3 deep, cleansing breaths as we begin. Close your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. There are some kinds of faith that can only grow in the dark. Let me repeat that. There are some types of faith that can only grow in the dark. What does this mean to you? There are some types of faith that can only grow in the dark. There was one particular night in my life that became so black, so dark, and so despairing that I scarcely can remember how I survived that blackest of nights. The only solace I received from going through this experience was that if I could get through that dark abyss of a night, I knew I could get through anything. The belief developed my ability to proceed even when it was seemingly impossible. And what was birthed that dark of darkest nights? I learned I was tough that night. My confidence in myself grew, and I still gleaned strength from knowing I endured that experience. I know I was not alone in my efforts. I had to learn to be anti-fragile and knew that growth happens under great duress. You know, we don't grow unless we are lifting weight. Muscle doesn't build unless it's torn down first. We cannot build muscle without stressing it. I also learned that most days, comfort is not the goal. God is only interested in our growth, not our comfort, giving space later for expanded joy. Neil Maxwell said, "Sorrow enlarges the heart." A few questions to think on today in our session. What faith have you expanded and grown through in the darkness? And what have you learned about yourself in hardship and dark times? What have you learned that you're made of? I'm going to give you some time to reflect on these questions and enjoy until you hear a soft bell. Okay, let's come back now. Back from your session of contemplation on what faith is growing in the dark. Remember the quote by Neil Maxwell, "Sorrow enlarges the heart." This is true because we have to have a dichotomy, two ends of the same pole, sorrow and joy, present in order to appreciate comfort and convenience. I have enjoyed holding this space for you today, and so glad you joined me for day 250, Growing in the Dark. I will be back tomorrow, and I hope you decide to be too. Please consider sharing this message with someone you love, and remember to take in light. Bye for now.